How are you guys doing out there tonight? I am so glad that you guys are tuning in because listen, y'all kept contacting me in my inbox, come talk about some Aunt Boo, what about this? Aunt Boo, what about that? I can't make no 50 videos a day. So I said, hey, why not have my own show? I mean, it ain't like Ellen called me or nothing. You know, Steve Harvey, ain't nobody contacted me. We're going to stay right here until somebody put me on the air. Talking to my people. But anyway, guys, you know we're getting started late. Y'all know black people are always late. You know we are. Anyway, we're getting started a little late tonight. I want you guys to hang out with me until 9 o'clock at least, unless it get real juicy. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I want to start with this question that I got. Okay, so somebody asked me. Wait a minute, let me give y'all my disclaimer. First of all these little buttons and gadgets, I don't know what I'm doing, okay? So if you get cut off or something like that, just log back on. I don't know what I'm doing. Anywho, somebody asked me a question. Y'all know I'm a sweating god and I got too hype, got too many narcotics in my body. But they asked me a question. They said, Aunt Boo, can you please address bullying in the workplace? Bullying in the workplace. So my first thought was this. Ain't you grown? We all grown people, right? I'm talking to kids about being bullied at school. And here it is, I have an adult that's saying, Aunt Boo, I am being bullied in the workplace. This person is actually even threatening me with, talking about they're going to bring some weapons and stuff. And so what I have to say to you is this, and you guys know I keep it 100 plus, so everybody ain't going to like what I say, but, hang in there with me a little while and you're going to get the common sense piece to what I'm trying to give to you, okay? So the first thing I want to tell you is this. I hope I make you angry when I say this. I want you to get angry. Okay, so if somebody is bullying you in the workplace, you're grown, they should. You want to know why? Because that lets me know that you have not taken the time to get to know your company's policies. Think about it real quickly. Think about it. You work for a company. There has to be some type of policies or some type of ground rules around workplace violence, creating a hostile working environment. So if somebody is bullying you, I want to make you mad enough tonight to go to your corporate policies and read. Find out what your corporate policies are. So you're telling me that you talked to your supervisor about it, and your supervisor didn't do anything. Your supervisor has a boss. Your boss has a boss. And then there is what we call HR. So let me help you out a little further, because what you can't do is just give people practices without principle. Amen? You can't just give people, just tell them go do something without giving them, the principles behind this. You need to start a paper trail. Send an email. Hello, boss. I don't know if you are aware of this or not, but coworker A has been threatening me here at the workplace. I would like to sit down and schedule a meeting with you and her to discuss this. Now, this is after you try to, resolve it on your own, try to figure out what's going on. They're just not hearing you, right? And so then you want to go and set your email to where you can see when they received it and when they read it. Okay, so you have confirmation that they have received it and read it. It's been 1-2 days, they haven't responded. So you're going to assume good intent and send out a second one. I'm not sure if you received my email on this day at this time stating that there's a problem here. I feel threatened because coworker A is threatening me here at the workplace. This is my second request. Please, let's sit down and have a meeting. You're going to mark that what? Urgent. Right, urgent. And you're going to do your little receive and read, thing, so you know that they have read it. Another 1-2 days have gone by and they haven't done anything. So now you're thinking, oh, wow, I don't know what's going on. No, come out the clouds, baby. Send your third email and then copy in their boss. This is my third request. I wish you follow the chain of command and then you go over whatever it is you have to say. So the boss's boss is going to be trying to figure out, but why is this the first time I heard of this? Right? And then your boss is going to say, okay, now my boss knows that there's something going on that I haven't handled, and you're going to get your meeting. So if your boss and your boss's boss don't do anything, and you have your paper trail going, then you can go to HR, but you have to first read and know what your rights are in the workplace. So if somebody is bullying you in the workplace, and they're making your job a living HE double hockey sticks, they ought to, because that means you do not know your rights in the workplace because you have not taken the time to sit down and read the corporate policies to know what they are. Reading is fundamental. And I know that was some good advice. So here is the second question that I got. Woo, I need a mosey alone. It's 8:41 already. Here's the second question that I got. Someone says, okay, they said, Abu, my daughter is taking racy pictures. That means they're dirty. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Talking about I'm hot. I can drop it like it's hot. I'm a freak. All that foolishness. Poo-poo la-la showing legs gagged all open, that type of thing. Her daughter is taking these kind of pictures. And she's posting them on social media, where people all over the world can see them. Y'all do understand what social media, y'all understand that, right? Yeah, where everybody can see it. And then says, society says we can't switch them. My society. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute. Society says that we cannot take a switch, which is a small tree limb. You take off the leaves and pop them with it. And then it says, what are your views on social media? Well, you have two things going on here, because social media is not to blame for your daughter's actions. Okay, so let's get that straight. And I want you to think about this. If social media was bad, right, would you ever have heard of Aunt Boo? What do you mean? What do I think about social media? People in Argentina, Canada, all over the world have heard about Aunt Boo because of what? Social media. So social media is not bad. It is a tool that people can use to reach a zillion of people at one time. So it is a great tool. However, any tool in anybody's hand can be dangerous. Prime example. You're a serial killer. A hammer might not be a tool that's safe in your hands, but if you're a lumberjack, you're going to use it for good. Okay? So it's a tool. It's a wonderful tool that people can use to reach a whole lot of people. Now, the question is, and this does not speak to your parenting skills, so I don't want you to think that I am accusing you of anything or anything like that. The question is, why does your daughter feel the need to take these pictures and put them all up onto social media so that she can be seen, her body parts can be seen all around the world. Does she feel that she is not loved? Does she feel that she needs attention? You know, whether it is positive or negative, you know, whether it's some old dirty 90-year-old man sitting there rubbing on himself while he watching her on social media. You know, what's the reason? Let's get to the root problem here. There is a problem. She has a need that is not being fulfilled or is not being satisfied by any other means except for to exploit herself on social media. So now it is time to sit down and have a real conversation with her and find out, why do you have a need to be seen half naked, butt naked, not wearing nothing but half by all of these people? And then what you need to do, you need to sit down and let her watch one of these good God marathons right here. NCIS, Criminal Minds. And put this bug in the ear. So, you know, a lot of times people say, oh, you just watch too much TV. Think about this. Somebody's mind thought the story up to write it for our entertainment. But is it for our entertainment or is it for our knowledge? There are all kinds of sick people out here on social media that can't wait for the opportunity to catch you with your guards down, with your drawers down, so they can fool you and meet you somewhere and kill your behind and chop you up and eat you. You know, seriously, you have got to have a real conversation with your child and find out, hey, why do you have the need to do that? Because surely there's a need that is not being met. Best luck to you, Mom. And if that don't work, bring it to me. I'll switch you. I ain't got no problem with it. You know, people go talking about, you know, you can't beat your child. Okay, here's the thing. You either want your children beat or you don't. I mean, you want people disciplined or you don't. Does that make sense? You know, which brings me to my next question. My next question was, someone wanted to find out my opinion on the mom in Denver that embarrassed her daughter. I don't know if you guys saw this on Facebook. It was crazy. As a matter of fact, I was watching, it was either CNN or the Today Show I was watching, and the mom was telling the kid, you know, well, tell them how old you are. You know, and she was saying, you wear underwear that still have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on it. Tell them that you can't wipe your behind good. Okay, now listen. This is my personal opinion. I think that when you embarrass a child, you know, discipline, regardless of what discipline you give, it can go either way. It can go left or right. It's going to be right or wrong. The kid is going to get it or they're not. The kid is going to straighten up or they're going to act out even worse. Okay? So either way you give discipline, you know, hey, you're taking a chance. My thing is, I don't believe that embarrassing a child is the best thing to do. However, people know their own children. Understand that. People know their own children. Embarrassment may not be what it takes for mine, you know, but it may have been what it took for her daughter. You know, so who are we to judge to say, you know, she should not have done that? You know, I'm sure when her daughter gets to be 30, 40 years old, or however long it takes for her to forget about it, get over the shame, you know, and, you know, if she turned her life around, I'm sure she'll look back on that and say, you know what, that was tough, but I appreciate my mom because I'm still here, I'm still alive, and guess what? I didn't meet up with some stranger that took my life and you know, made me to have a premature death. Does that make sense? You know, it's just like the same thing with the lady that was beating her child. Now that one, I'm sorry, y'all. I did laugh. Y'all know me. I love to laugh. I did laugh when that woman spotted her child out there doing the Baltimore riots. Okay? Now listen, a lot of people said, you know, she was wrong. That's child abuse or whatever. What I say is this. That woman straight up panicked. You know, she panicked and she pulled him out of one dangerous situation, not even thinking that I'm pulling him into another situation. And me and some of my church people, we got into a great debate about this. And so this was my argument because I probably would have reacted the same way. Here's an example. So I'm at the grocery store. I'm out there with, you know, my daughter. And at the time, she was very, very small. This is when I was trying to teach her, you know, before you cross the street, make sure you look left and right. So one time, Haley just took off and got away from me, and here's a car coming. I grabbed her, I shook her, and said, girl, if you get hit by a car and killed, I'm going to kill you. Now listen, does that make any sense at all? No, it does not. Because I'm telling her, if you get killed, I'm going to kill you. Makes no sense at all. But I was a parent, high on adrenaline, you know, and I'm scared. So, and then because I saw that she was all right, she didn't get hit, I got angry. So you have adrenaline, you have fear, and you have anger running through your body at the same time. So you can say all you want to, you know, I would have said, you know, take that mask off right now, and we're going to talk about this when we get home. You know, no. The average person would have done the exact same thing. You know, because this woman is scared, like, okay, first of all of this chaos is going on. And then I find out I'm raising you one way and you out here causing the chaos. And y'all remember, we getting shot because our drawers is hanging out. That woman was scared. And so, you know, in hindsight, she probably, you know, is thinking, well, dog, you know, I did beat him up and it was played on national TV. He's embarrassed. But I tell you what, I don't know if y'all noticed this or not, but when his mama was thumping his head, did you see him right back up at his mama? I thought he was bad. Let that marinate. That means that she has some type of control in that house. That boy was raised that way, and she amped out. She straight snapped. Y'all remember that video I did? Get off me, monkey. That's what she did. She straight up snapped. And hey, it happened. Now, as far as the switching children, my Lord. That's all I'm going to say is my Lord. Don't end up in jail. There's a difference between abuse and punishment, or abuse and chastisement. Now, you know, and I'm going to give you this example. I got switched on both sides of the family, right? My mom's side of the family, my dad's side of the family. My mama's side of the family, you know, you might get a yardstick. You might get, you know, a switch, may get a belt. On my dad's side of the family, and this is real, and I don't need none of my family contacting me later on. This is my show. And this is what happened to us. On my dad's side of the family, you might have got a tobacco stick. You might have got a drop cord. You might have got a shoe. And I tell you this, there was a rose bush outside. Sometimes we had to go get a switch from the rose bush, and the person that was switching us would take the thorns off where their hands was and beat us with the thorns. Now you tell me, there's a difference, right? There's proper chastisement, or chastisement where you don't end up bloody, you know, have needing stitches, and then there's that other, there's abuse. You know, all children, I feel, need to be chastised, but all children don't need to be chastised the same way. And you need to realize everybody was not born and raised the same way. I'm just going to be honest with you. A lot of black people, we're not raised to go to therapy. We weren't raised, let's take parenting classes before we deliver. Average home wasn't raised like that. That's just how it is. So, when I see things like this happen, and especially if it happens among black people, hey, I got a lot of the same things, so I understand that. But I understand that we have to be diverse, right? We have to remember that different people are from different places and they were raised different ways. So let's embrace them all and use what works for whatever family. Woo, God, it's 8:54. I need to hear it out. Okay. So, and you know what? I have more questions, but I'm going to end on this question tonight. This question says, Abu, can you please address the situation in schools today? Can you please talk about what would be a great solution? Let me say this. This is, how am I going to say this without people getting too mad? The beast that we have going on today, I said beast. The beast that we have in school today, we created. Okay? We created this beast. You want to know why? Because there was a time when I was coming up through school, and this goes back to my last question, if you went to school and you acted like a fool, you got your butt thumped by your teacher. I'm waiting. Right. Now I'm 44. Your teacher had the right to thump your butt. Your principal had the right to thump your butt. And if they picked up their phone, good God Almighty, and they called your mama, I don't know about y'all, but my mama had a 1 hour lunch break. School was right there in the city. She could get to the school, beat me again, and get back to work on time, grab her a little barbecue sandwich, and never skip a beat. Grab her a chicken plate and don't skip a beat. And then we'll go home, get on the phone, and next thing you know, you getting a phone call from your favorite aunt getting fussed out by her. And then the rest of those sisters and uncles and cousins, everybody talking about what you did. You just getting fussed out by everybody. Right? Because then we understood that it took a village to raise one child. Somebody got the great, they got inspired to say, nobody should beat your children in school. And so they took the corporate punishment out of the school. Then they say, well, if you beat your child at home, that's child abuse. Okay? Prayer came out to school. My thing is, if they 10,000 gods out here, why can't everybody pray to their own little God, for 5 minutes or whatever, and the best God win? Then everybody going to reassemble themselves. You didn't have to take it out to school, right? And everybody didn't believe in no God. Y'all just get together and chill, play cards for 5 minutes, and everybody get along with everybody. But no, we had to take it out to school. So you have no discipline, or you got less discipline at home. Talking about something. You go in that corner and you stand there till you think about what you've done. They're not thinking about what they did. Okay? Took it out to home. You took it out. You took the prayer out to school. Corporate punishment out to school. Then before you know it came to razor blades. In my day, it came to switchblades. It came to guns. Now, every time you turn around, you got schools getting shot up from elementary to college. 8 people dead, 12 wounded. 20 people dead, 6 wounded. Why? Lack of discipline. So my solution is this. Instead of putting everybody on medication, because everybody don't need it, You need to stand behind the parents that are not abusive to their children, but they do discipline their children at home. Stand behind those teachers when they discipline those children at home. And I'm not talking about, these parents that come out there, my son said you did. Come on now. You know your son lied to you all the time. Now you're down there in the teacher's face acting like a fool, teaching your child to act a fool, and now nobody can control them in school. You wonder why they keep getting expelled and on the street. Now they're doing drugs, now they're shot. You need to stand behind these teachers when they discipline them in school. Stand behind the principals when they discipline our children in school, and we have got to teach our children. You need to take time out of your day and pray to your God. That's what I say is going to fix the the situation in schools, because some of these kids, when I was growing up, that was the only godly conscience they had. Their parents did not take them. They did not take them to church. So when they came to school, they learned, the Pledge of Allegiance, all that other stuff, but they learned to pray. And they stayed out of trouble, and they graduated. Because when all of that left school, then we had the babies making babies. And we had a whole lot of killing. So my solution is, you got to get God back in these schools, baby. You got to teach your children at home. You better pray when you go to school. You better pray over your children before they go. You need to anoint them with oil. I need to do mine too. Anoint them with oil. Make sure that you keep in have great communication with the teachers. And when your child act the fool, you know your child, light them up. Light them up just like Christmas in Vegas. That's right. You wanted to know what Ambu was thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Guys, look out for the next video is coming soon. God bless. Keep sending your questions, and I will be here to answer them. Good night.